Who is Stand to Reason? Well, anyone who has any experience with their videos already knows the answer. But let's see what Greg Koukl wants to think STR is, and what the evidence at hand shows that it actually is. Recently, Stand to Reason posted an actual video promo for their channel. Up until now, they just posted random videos that showed up as an introduction. Most recently, that silly The Story of Reality video that I took on a while back and completely demolished. But now, they're proud of who they are, and this is who they want to be. So I thought it would be interesting to take a look at what they want to be, and compare it to what we know they actually are. Because I have a feeling that they're not at all the same. Okay, let me stop it right there. Clear thinking Christianity? That's an oxymoron, isn't it? Now, I'm sure that they want to think that you ought to think as a Christian. That's kind of their shtick. But they don't really want you to think outside of their little Christian box. They don't want you to question the STR-approved religious dogma. They don't really want you to think. They want you to parrot their absurd nonsense. If they really wanted people to think, if they were thinking themselves, then they wouldn't have their comments closed. Because obviously, thought, especially rational thought, is the furthest thing from their minds.
Hi, I'm Greg Koukl for Stand to Reason, and for over 25 years, we have been producing materials that help strengthen Christians to be voices for Christ in an ever-changing and challenging culture.
So, you've been poisoning minds for a quarter century. Not sure that's something that you ought to be proud of. And apparently, you're not doing a very good job because the culture is becoming less and less religious as time goes on. Granted, I can't credit STR for that. They're a very, very tiny fish in a very massive ocean, but obviously they're not reversing the trend in any demonstrable way. And I don't know if that's good or bad, that they're terrible enough to be causing the widespread rejection of Christianity, or that they're so tiny that their absurd videos aren't having an impact, but nothing they're doing is anything they ought to be proud of.
What we're trying to do is build ambassadors for Christ with 3 different qualities: knowledge, and accurately informed mind.
Yeah. Knowledge of your dogma and nothing else. Because telling your students to go check things out for themselves independently, that's a huge no-no, I'm sure. Much like the political left, you want them to listen and believe. Don't ask questions, don't try to corroborate anything, just believe it's true and spout it at others.
Wisdom and artful method.
Wisdom. Not what I'd say happens in any of your videos. An artful method? What's that? I get the sense that you're training people to be the theological version of used car salesmen. Slimy, dishonest, willing to say anything to make the sale, whether it's true or not. I'm not sure that's a good characteristic.
And character and attractive manner.
Character and attractive manner. Dressing bullshit up in a tuxedo and perfume so no one can smell how bad it stinks. That's really what all of this comes down to. But the truth doesn't need your help. The truth stands on its own. Maybe you ought to worry more about whether what you have is the truth than how you present it.
We hope that what you view here is going to help you in that way, because at Stand to Reason, we provide confidence for every Christian, clear thinking for every challenge, and courage and grace for every encounter.
Then why are all your videos so laughably ridiculous? Why have we here at the Bitchspot channel dubbed you Stands Against Reason? Because you're not doing a good job at all. And if Greg and Tim and Alan, if their videos are so ridiculously unconvincing, how can we think that anyone who learns from them is going to be any better? Christianity has a cult-like mentality that says, believe what we tell you, don't ask questions, do what you're told, and you might get a reward that you can't verify. Oh, and go buy things at our store because we're in it for the cash. I guess fleecing the gullible is a tried and true method of making money, but it isn't ethical, and ethics seem to be your game. Or at least you pretend they are, but you still haven't proven that anything you spew is actually true. And that's the problem. Because it's all unjustified, often demonstrably wrong, mythological garbage that plays on people's emotions and ignores the objective facts. And telling people that you're arming them to spread nonsense because it makes them feel good, that's not something that you ought to be doing in the first place, unless you're crooked, or ignorant, or both. So which one is it, STR? Because who you want to be and who you seem to be are two entirely different things. And that's why your videos will continue to be ripped apart here, and you will continue to go on ignorantly because you just don't want to know the truth. Truth is inconvenient. Truth might make you feel bad, and that just betrays your absurdity. That's who you actually are.